Come riding in on a pale white horse, selling your heart to less fortunate. I do advise you run in. Running out back when you're breaking it down for me, 'cause I can hear you too. Running on back, will it ever make sense to me? I got to do things my own way, darling. Will you ever let me? Will you ever respect me? No.
Hey guys, welcome to What She Says. We do apologize for taking so long to get our next episode out to you, but as you all know, Raven was sick with the flu for a couple of weeks, but she's doing better.
Much better.
Thank God. So, yes, back in full force. So, this evening we are going to talk about something pretty interesting in light of Black History Month. Even though we celebrate our Africanism, if that's considered a word,
I like it.
Daily, we figured that it would be a good idea to just touch on one really important topic that we always talk about a lot in our home. And before we even start, Raven is drinking iced tea. We just wanted to put it in a pretty glass.
Yes, please don't call Dyfus on me.
Regular
My baby gets here.
Iced tea. And we won't talk about what's in my glass, but that's irrelevant. So anyway,
it's not iced tea. Just throw that out there because I'm a little jealous, but it's not iced tea.
So we're gonna go right into it. Raven, you can go ahead and begin.
So I don't know how many of you may have heard of something called Black Wall Street. So just to give you guys all a general definition, if you type it into Google, just Black Wall Street, you will get this. As one of the most prominent concentrations of African American businesses in the United States during the early 20th century, it was popularly known as Black Wall Street. You're speaking of Greenwood, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Until the Tulsa race riot of 1921, in which the Oklahoma state government, with the assistance of Tulsa's white residents, massacred hundreds of black residents. So just a quick history. May 31st, 1921, Dick Rowling was, I think he was a shoe shiner. Don't quote me on this. If y'all, want to know details, Google it yourself. So anyway, I believe he was a young black shoe shiner who got into an elevator with a Caucasian female. By the end of the elevator ride, he ran off the elevator while she was screaming. So rumors had it that she may have been raped or molested by this young man that rode the same elevator every single day. So she did not press charges, but most of the Caucasian residents in the area decided that they wanted justice. So they met out, thousands of them, and they wanted this young man, Dick Rowland, to be lynched. Obviously, the black community felt like they had to protect him, and when both sides met up, there was a gentleman on the Caucasian side with a gun. Him and a gentleman that were an African-American gentleman started arguing regarding what he was going to do with the gun, and started to tussle over the gun, and the white man got shot. I believe this is how it happened. Again, Google it. So after that, obviously that caused even a bigger riot. All the African Americans went to one side, all the Caucasians went to another side. They tried to make a barrier, it didn't work. Basically by the end, Black Wall Street was totally destroyed, flames set. Some of the survivors even claimed to have seen bombs being dropped from the sky. So basically, this is just something that, this isn't the first Black Wall Street. There were others. And this is just one that, I believe there's a movie on it, right?
Well, there's definitely videos all over YouTube on it. So there's a ton of information out there, which is one of the reasons why I find it so interesting how so many of us had never heard of it before. They say that it was a few hundred people that were killed. I really am not sure of the number. They say it was about 10,000 people that were left homeless, families. Again, there's a whole bunch of information out there on YouTube, and I really advise, and this has nothing to do with race, I advise everyone who is interested in some real good history to, look it up and to do a little research on it, because it's interesting to know about some of these things, because we do hear how, some of these places existed, and, we don't know much about it. And the interesting thing about it is that we have this idea that African Americans are not able to hold a dollar in their community. They're not able to build businesses and to be successful unless they have a helping hand from the government, or there's so many misconceptions about this. So when you hear about stories like in Tulsa, there's another one that was in North Carolina that was a huge financial stability of a whole community, and there's so many, but we don't hear about them, and
And not to interrupt you, but these weren't just small businesses. These African Americans were rich. They were wealthy. They had a lot of money.
We're talking banks, schools,
theaters,
bakeries,
pharmacies,
candy shops, barbershops.
They basically had everything that we had. Surgeons. They basically had everything that we have today, totally black owned,
in one community. And bottom line, if you do your research, you'll see that one of the issues with it is that the outsiders, the Caucasians were trying to figure out how in the world are these people doing what they're doing, and they're not using any of our resources. And it became a problem. And it's been said that it was a really serious jealousy going on, especially for the Caucasian poor people who weren't able to find jobs or to figure out how to make ends meet for themselves. So because of that, it was like, okay, the first opportunity they had, they took down this community.
Right.
And it's interesting. It's really interesting. There is one survivor left. Her name is, first, before I even talk about her, because she's extremely interesting. There was about 5 years had gone by when residents had finally rebuilt Tulsa. They had started businesses again and stuff like that. Everybody did not stay. A lot of people ended up in the north.
It wasn't nearly as prosperous.
No, it wasn't. And it just made it that much easier for eventually the political leaders and the business leaders to step in, and they put in all of these laws that prevented reconstruction. And then before they were able to really get things going, segregation was overturned. And now we have doors opening for blacks to go and to shop and live in other communities. So they began to leave Tulsa. And in doing that, it just became a regular old place where now everybody lived, and Caucasians were able to just kind of step in and do what it was that they actually planned to do, which was to end Black Wall Street altogether. So, and then that brings me to the final survivor, who's 102 years old now. And she's another one. Have you looked up Olivia Booker?
I've seen some of her videos of her. She has a lot of stories.
As you would know.
She was 6 at the time.
And she remembers everything as if it was yesterday. So, and how I learned about her is I started following a bunch of the YouTube videos about, respirations. Mm-hmm. They were trying to get respirations for the families in that community. And they were reparations. Did I say that right? Reparations. Okay. All right, let's get that together. They were trying to get reparations for the families who survived and their offsprings. and participated in trying to obtain reparations. So this is how I learned about Olivia. Over the years, they fought for the reparations. People started to die off, and she's the last one. I looked her up a few days ago. 3 days ago, they had a nice article on her. 102 years old, lives out in New York, enjoying life. And she tells, yes, she is. And she tells the story over and over again. And it's extremely sad, especially when you hear her side of it. So anyone interested in learning about this dear old woman who has had a lifetime of stories to tell, her name is Olivia Hooker, and I advise you not only to look up just the information about Black Wall Street, but check out Olivia Hooker too. Really interesting story. On to the next.
Well, with all that being said, I know we just threw a lot at y'all, but point being, African Americans need to be more inclined, let me just say it this way, support each other as much as you possibly can. Because at the end of the day, this is not something that can only happen once. This is going on right now in Texas. They have other places that are like this. This can be something that, if y'all actually do the history and look into it, this could be something that makes you feel more,
makes you want to get up and do your thing,
right? And be a part.
And please, we have a lot of different races watching. This is not a slight to anyone. This is just as, like, for example, you see tons and tons of things for Hispanics, you see tons of things for Caucasians, you see tons of things for Asians. There's nothing wrong with supporting your race, and you can still, love everyone. So this is just about all of us trying to survive in this beautiful place. Well, that's pushing
make it as beautiful as possible.
In this place that they call America. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. Anybody that knows me know how I feel about this country we live in. It is what it is, but that's a whole nother topic. So anyway, let's go into the next topic, which is exciting too.
The most amazing thing that has happened in, I don't even know how long, Black Panther. Good God. This movie for all these beautiful black people and Michael B. Jordan and Chadwick.
There you go.
All right, but I'm getting sidetracked.
It's supposed to be about the movie.
Point is, this is a great movie. This is a great movie. Everybody needs to see it. Everybody, I don't care what race you are. If you like Marvel, you need to see this movie. Okay.
Well, we already know that it's not just African Americans that have this movie flying off the.
Oh no!
Everyone is going to see this movie. In fact, the numbers are coming from. They're international. It's insane.
Such a beautiful movie.
Almost $1 billion.
If only Wakanda was a real place.
If Wakanda was a real place, I'd be there. For real.
Just want to be a part of something
saying.
so wonderful. All right. Anyway, there's a lot of controversy with this movie. One being, people didn't agree the way that they had African Americans and Africans at battle. Now, issue here is there's always has to be a controversy with something. Why couldn't we just go enjoy the movie? It was a great movie. Like, it's not real.
And we're not even going to talk about all the controversy. The things are
that's
like
only
insanely
one.
ridiculous. This is just one that we find to be important. But there was tons of it, which is ridiculous.
Point is,
it's a movie.
It's a movie.
That's a good one.
Like, let's just enjoy the movie. It was 2 hours and some change.
Yeah.
You didn't feel like it? I could go see it again.
A lot of people I know have seen it at least twice.
I would love to see it in 3D,
at least
but
twice.
You know how that goes.
Eventually. But it's an excellent movie. It's a very powerful movie for your children. It's up in the air about the age.
I don't see how.
Well, some people are saying because of the violence, which I've seen kids watch some horrible things. So, it's the typical violence.
I watched horrible things when I was a kid. And look how I turned out.
First of all, let's not even go there because you did it behind my back.
Let's stay on track.
Yes, let's. Because you can still get in trouble.
Let's back to Black Panther.
So anyway, I had I had a parent concerned about her 4-year-old seeing it, and then I just happened to look it up to see like what are people saying. So people are saying that they will take their child as young as 7, and any age before that, you should base it on your child's personality, because some kids just are okay with certain things. Look at Georgie. Your brother, I was young and dumb. I can't even say that. That's all right. Never mind. Let's just erase that. Anyway, anyway, that's a whole nother story on another day too. But the bottom line is I think that each parent should base it off of, their kid's personality and what they think that their kids would enjoy or is afraid of or whatever the case may be. But it's a good movie.
It's a great movie.
And it's very inspirational, especially for African American children.
These young Black kids are actually able to go to a movie and see people like them.
Yes.
That are heroes.
Yes.
So they're not drug dealers, drug addicts.
Yes.
They're not murdering.
And the women are not prostitutes and have their, babies, mamas with like 5-6 kids with
they're
5
warriors
different men.
with
they
strength.
are strong warriors.
It's such a great movie.
It's amazing. It is. And it allows other people to see us in a different light as well, which I think is extremely important.
Right. Agreed.
Great movie.
Easily sidetracked. Everybody go see the movie.
Go see the movie. So, before we go, I just want to go back a little bit. If you guys remember, the last time we were on, we talked about Raven's reveal. And we are having a boy. His name is
King is Johnny.
King is Johnny.
The Johnny being the first name, but he will be a king.
He will be a king. Absolutely. And we were really excited about that. But then on top of it all, my baby's getting married! My baby will be getting married. We will be planning a wedding soon. Baby first. Got to get that shower out the way and all of that kind of stuff. But yeah.
Too much planning at one time gives me anxiety. Amongst everything else.
So Rick and I are gaining a grandson and a son-in-law. And thank God we love him, because otherwise this would be like, oh my gosh, I don't want to imagine. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It is. So yeah, of course we will keep you guys posted on all of the happenings with the new baby and the soon-to-be misses, and so all right. So that's it for this evening. As usual, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, concerns, DM us.
She learned that today, guys.
I thought it was inboxing on Facebook.
Everything is DM. Slide in the DMs,
All right. DM us, and we'll get back to you. So, oh gosh, I'm not gonna even ask what Gizmo is doing here.
Come here.
Looking all crazy.
Hi, honey. He needs a haircut. Don't judge him.
He's the baby for now.
He's the little brother.
And he's
right. You're being greedy.
So, so DM us, send us any messages, let us know what you think, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks.
See you guys later.
See ya.
My face is at the door, baby. What can you say? Don't wanna hear you say you don't want me no more. I won't blame you for anything or me for anything. Let's not take finding each other in vain. It's not a coincidence, baby. You know damn well you're supposed to be in my life. Oh yeah. You know damn well you're supposed to be coming